Yep, I'm ready, boss. Let's go. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
G'day guys, it's Pete here from ETI Music, and I have with me DJ Ragz,
Thank you.
all the way from London, England.
That's right.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out, man.
No
It's
worries.
good.
No worries.
Ragz and I have got a really short history. We only met in this very venue a month ago,
About
2 months
that.
ago.
Yeah, about that. 5 weeks or so. Yeah.
And what impressed me so much about you, Ragz, was simply the synergy between the music and the business.
Yeah.
And I think that's what uninhibited. That's what our direction of our conversation will go through today.
Okay.
It'll end up being about the music and the business. So why you weren't born here, obviously?
No.
Why Adelaide?
Calm lifestyle.
Yeah.
Change of pace from London. You know.
You said today you've been pretty hectic there. You had to get up at 10.
I had to get up. Well, I was up at 5, but you know, yeah, it's a lot more chilled. You know.
Right. Okay.
And I can think straight, and I'm not being pulled in 5-6 different directions. 1 or 2 maybe, but yeah. You know.
Yeah. You've been here for how long? 3 years, did you say?
Almost 4.
Okay.
October will be 4 years. So yeah.
Cool. I'm starting to get busier now.
Starting to get loads busier.
Starting to get your fingers in the pies and understand what goes on here.
Definitely. Adelaide is a unique city.
Yeah.
You know.
And I remember the conversation we had on the weekend, the DJ course you did. You said that you love England, but you couldn't go back to live.
No, because as much as there are opportunities there, you know, a bigger cake as it were, that filter down just doesn't happen, and
It's just more icing, and icing's
Yeah.
not good for you.
that's it. You know, rich blood.
Yeah, yeah.
So no, the Adelaide definitely. I've had loads more opportunities to do what I wanted to do, and you know, opportunities have presented themselves to me solely because of the nature of the city.
Okay.
You know.
So your first big gig here, would it have been WOMAD?
Let me think. I've done a few fresh 927 gigs, which were pretty big. They're parties, you know, like 3,000 people turning up at HQ.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, in terms of festivals, definitely WOMAD.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
And how did you go about getting that gig?
that was through the radio station, and a particular the integration events manager there. She's taken it to the next level
Okay.
this year, you know, and she's
Event manager of Fresh or
Of
WOMAD?
Fresh.
Okay. Yeah.
and she's been really resourceful, you know, come out with some really good ideas and pitch them to organisations, and they've accepted them,
Right.
and it's given us as DJs that platform,
Nice.
you know,
Very cool.
to the point where now I can say I've done the festival, I've done Fringe, I've done WOMAD.
We call them credibility points.
That's it.
It's not a financial thing. It's not a status thing. You've got that. You've done that now.
That's it.
You know,
It's on the CV.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, whether you skipped 100 tracks, you know, or your 100 tracks skipped or not, it might have been the worst show you've ever done.
But it's there.
That you've done it.
That's right. That's right.
I'm sure it wasn't.
That's
I'm
right.
sure it was great. So going back to Fresh, so what's your involvement with that radio station?
Fresh, I DJ or I present a show, should I say, on a Tuesday, Wednesday morning, and Tuesday and Wednesday morning, and from there it's the biggest reggae show in Adelaide. It's the only reggae show on the FM dial in SA,
Okay.
and it's doing great things. You know, the content manager over there said to me at the weekend, you know, my Twitter feed is massive, you know,
nice.
and he's seeing the feedback and so forth. So yeah, it's a good foundation and a good base,
Yeah.
and it's given me the options now or the opportunities again, should I say, to present on 2 other stations in Australia and 1 in France.
Okay. Right. Wow.
So
Okay.
yeah,
Off to France in the flesh, or just electronically?
electronically.
Yeah. For now.
For now,
Yeah.
you never know.
You build your pathway in.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, definitely.
I
You
can
know,
imagine you with a bit of a bray on. You know, we.
Almost. The French is a bit rusty, but getting it.
Yeah, right. That's well, that's cool, man. Like you've obviously DJ'd your whole life. When did you start?
Yeah, I started.
Not 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
No. Gosh, I remember doing a house party in North London, and I must have been about 18.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a young lady who was having a house party, and she invited some radio DJs there, and me and a friend of mine who we went on to do some good things with music.
Right.
And you know, we emceed the night, and it went off crazily. You know, we got that crowd interaction.
Nice.
And
put your hands in the air.
Yeah.
Waving around like you just don't care.
That's right.
They come from you. You started that whole thing.
And that's it. Yeah. You know, it just went wow. You know, sea of hands.
Yes.
So
exactly.
Yeah, it was great.
So that was we talked just before driving home. I had a chat to Ragz teeing up this interview yesterday. Got off the phone, and my partner Michelle goes, "He sounds like Lenny Henry."
Oh God.
And then I told you that a second ago, and you're like, "Yeah, you used to live across the road."
Yeah, he lived across the road from my aunt, and my cousin in Wembley.
Yeah.
And he's a Birmingham boy originally.
Okay.
And when he was living in London at that point, this would have been the early 80s. Yeah. We used to play Knockdown Ginger on his door.
If only he could see what you're doing now.
I know.
You know, he's doing these small little festivals as well.
That's it.
It's amazing. You know? Must be something in the water in that street.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Cool. So, brothers, sisters, family, they DJ?
No, my younger brother tried the whole MCing thing for a little while.
Yeah.
But then he just got bored with it, I suppose.
Yeah, right. Then try harder.
There you go.
Yeah. So
he
might be watching this, but eventually he might. What's his name?
Daniel. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah. When you see this, Dad. Yeah. So yeah, and I've got an older sister. She's very creative in this field of fashion.
Okay.
You know, so I think that there's that creative, you know, synergy, as it were.
Great. All right. So creativity's happening in the house, and Mum and Dad were downstairs with fingers in their ears.
Not quite.
Sisters modelling their own clothing.
Oh gosh. At my dad's house, she had her own room with a sewing machine and everything else. So she was good.
So when your mum and dad were in, you know, kitchen cooking and you know, your mum would be saying, "Robert, turn off that music." Dan would be like, "Music."
It was more a case of halfway there, but then she'd play her own music. You know?
Was Dan like running around just saying the last thing that she says every time she says it? Like
no, not that really. Kind of hype. No.
So that's what if I was a hype man.
Yeah. Daniel wasn't that type of person. Okay. No. Yeah.
So you're not a mic man yourself?
I started out as one, and we did some big parties as a mic man, and then due to shifts in the roles, I suppose. And the need for a DJ, I took on the role of the DJ.
Right. Okay.
And myself and, you know, two other guys, we started out a sound system in the traditional sense of a sound system, with speaker boxes and turntables and amps and preamps and all of that stuff.
Right.
Spending a lot of money, but we were doing really well. Okay. You know, we had a residency.
You and me.
It's me.
Right. With the phone, Rich.
Should I just
hit on mute? That's right. I'll cut this bit out.
Yeah,
maybe. You can get it.
When they
realise. It might be Dan.
Nah. He wouldn't call me this time. 5:40 in the afternoon is the earliest he'll get up.
Just getting home.
Yeah. Just thing. Right. Yeah.
Cool. Good man.
Yeah. So in the traditional sense of, you know, a sound system, and we were doing well. We had a residency in London for 4 years.
Right, okay.
You know.
Wow.
And in central London, and then we'd do parties back on the ends, as they call it, you know, back in the hood.
Yeah.
So, so we were done pretty well overall, and then I took a break from music 2008 to concentrate on the career, you know.
The music needs some business, doesn't it?
That's it, you know. And within a couple of years, the decision was made, and it was Australia bound.
And you've got how many residencies here right now?
2 residencies. I do Adelaide Casino and Hotel Richmond.
Okay.
And we're always looking for more.
Wow. Yeah. Well, they're two big residencies to have on your
Definitely.
have on your shoulder, and I think residencies here in Adelaide are not quite. Coming back from Singapore a little while ago, I was speaking to the band that was playing in the club. And I thought, oh, guys, you guys are tight. How often do you play? Oh, every night. Oh, wow. Whereabouts? Oh, here. What? No,
Yeah.
I've been here for 5 years. We play every night except Wednesday night in the same venue.
Yes.
Different crowd, because it's a tourist crowd.
True.
And every night, Par Wednesday, they play anything from 70s rock to, current.
Okay.
No originals, all covers. And they're so good at it. They've got a list of like 100 songs on the wall, and they just, even give the list out to the crowd, and they tell them what songs to play.
Okay.
And
Funny you should say that, because it reminds me of a band that I work with here in Adelaide called One Planet.
Okay, yeah.
Cover band, predominantly. But, their range of what they can play, brilliant.
So the reggae there, they're all...
Reggae covers or a reggae slant on pop songs, rock songs, Australian rock songs, whatever.
Cool.
And they put that reggae twist to it.
Okay.
Sends the crowd crazy.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's very good. And what do you do with those guys?
I DJ whilst in between and after.
Okay.
Right? And then we do festivals and gigs and whatever else,
All right.
So yeah, we've got one coming up at the Gov, 7th of June, 9th of June, something like that. But yeah.
Urban movement.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
Urban movement is...
You say it so much better than I do.
Oh, man. Urban movement entertainments.
Mate. Yeah, okay. So that's not just your idea?
No, it's a collaboration between my very good friend, business partner, hombre, brother-in-arms, Sean, a.k.a. DJ Soulchild,
Okay.
a.k.a. Mr. Pink Suit.
Okay.
And
Is that a in-joke I don't know about?
yeah, oh gosh, he sets Adelaide ablaze when he wears his suits.
Okay.
Right?
Keep an eye out.
Yeah. So he's now in Brisbane and almost about to do the same thing up there, but yeah.
Right. Okay.
And it's a combination of the two of us, and we've got the third collaborator, and that is a lady named Sue.
Okay.
And predominantly we're all DJs looking for an outlet and a platform to showcase what we do. And what we found for us, how we were different from other DJs in Adelaide were, we don't just play one genre of music.
Right.
We can play across the board. One person can
Country
play
and Western.
rock, Michael Jackson, you name it.
Right.
So, and there weren't many avenues for us to do that. So we decided to look at that corporate avenue, where we changed the business model that most DJs and promoters take. And it's gone through the roof for us.
Right.
So not only do we have urban movement DJs, we have urban movement DJ booking agency.
Okay.
We have urban movement artist agency.
Right.
And we're just about to launch urban movement radio.
Right. Okay. So radio being I guess the best medium, and is it going to be a web radio or an actual, tuning on your dials?
Web radio for now, with an app, and hopefully within 3 years or so we may be in a position to look at alternatives.
Digital radio station.
Digital, FM, whatever we decide to do. Yeah.
Cool. Do you know the history of Fresh? Maybe about 10 years ago, it was 50% of the time it was Fresh.
Yeah.
The other 50 was Italian.
That's what I've
Baba
heard.
the Bookie.
The station has grown astronomically and still growing to this day.
Yeah, I had a couple of mates. DJ Rob, Robert Otto, he was
Yes.
there for a while.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, really? Wow. He DJ'd I drove a car in a car cruise, as we all do when we're 18. And he was my own personal DJ.
Okay.
In my Volkswagen, which was filled to the roof with speakers.
Yeah.
I had my own personal Fresh FM DJ, and we would park, and it would be like people would just that's
Gather up,
Fresh FM, like working for Fresh. He had that collateral. He had that those credibility points, and he was just sitting next to me in the car.
Okay.
And playing, we had his box of CDs, we're putting the stuff in, and we could hear us 10 cars front and back because it was a convertible Volkswagen, and the sound was out. It was loud.
That's crazy.
And I'd won competitions with the volume from that car, so it was loud. And we'd park in the car parks, and it would be like, dance parties, and just like you'd kind of see in the movies actually happen.
Yeah.
It was such a cool vibe. So it was.
Yeah.
So he's been doing that since, I think 18 when I met him.
Rob's still there.
Wow.
Well, they call him Crazy Rob.
Yeah.
Whether he likes it or not, but Rob's still there, doing his thing, and he's at the station most evenings. So,
Right. You're in, man.
That's it, and I'm...
Do the right thing, you stay in.
Yeah, definitely great opportunity, and it's opened up doors for me. And, I can't express how grateful I am,
So much so you're starting your own radio station in competition.
No. It's not a competition. It's just the fact that we want to do more urban stuff, fresh. I like the business model that they've taken and whatever else, and but primarily we've taken a different viewpoint on the music, and we just want to give that, that platform.
Talking about the business of it, we were fortunate enough to host a DJ workshop.
Yes.
In the Northern Burbs on was it Saturday night? No, when was that?
Thursday night.
I'm not even a DJ and I have no idea what day it is. And
daytime? What's that?
Yeah, it's night time. These are lights are making it daytime.
Yeah.
So this workshop, you don't really know how many people you're going to get at these things. And we were so fortunate. We had a mate, two guys, two kids come along. They were 12 or 11. 11. They were so passionate. They were so engaged, and it was just an absolute amazing 3-hour session for us, for me, to deliver, the excitement of what music can be, and the hustle of what you need to do in order to do what you want to do for a living.
That's right.
And these kids are 12, and they're growing up in the era that having a YouTube channel and being financial from that is not just possible, but it's probable.
Yes.
Providing you've got a concept, providing you've got something you want to do, and these kids have got that.
Definitely.
And they've got a great, the mum's backing them 100% with everything they need to do. She runs her own business, and she understands the business side is important to the music side.
So much so that I got, as I said to you earlier on, I got a message from the mum and one of the boys saying, what equipment to buy. And just passing on that knowledge, But I think what we imparted to them at that workshop was the business side of it. And Pete, that's for me.
We can't teach creativity.
No.
So that's their input into their own fun and their own thing.
Yeah.
But having that creativity shared with others is where there are certain concepts and but a process that you need to follow in order to be like the other guy, if not better.
Definitely. There's a saying I read the other day. Hustle and talent go hand in hand, but hustle will win where talent refuses to hustle. It's true, Talent will take you so far.
Write that down. That's
Talent will take you so far, but if you're not prepared to work and put in that hustle, you're not going to.
It's so good. Some people stand on stage and they say, "I deserve to play in front of more people." Well, firstly, you get rid of that attitude. It's a blessing. You're already winning because you're playing music.
There you go.
But if you think like that, you shoot yourself in the foot. It's a never-ending quest of self-fulfilling. You've got to get better at your craft. You've got to be on edge with the knowledge that you need to know to be, at the forefront of your industry. Whether it's a drummer or a guitarist or learn music, play music for the music, not for the popularity.
That's right.
But in a slight little twist, popular people sell more records. But what makes them popular? Is it the marketing? Is it the media? Is it the way they play a C major scale? Is it the way they beat match? They might play an amazing trumpet like myself,
but not have the exposure, you know? And they fall down, should I say, at that point.
I don't play trumpet very well.
Nah, neither do I.
Yeah.
So Timmy, you're tight.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that the business side of it is a whole, platform that it's what people are teaching it. People are selling business models and modules. Music SA, sell a business course. It's important. It actually needs to be learned.
Definitely.
You can learn it the easy way by reading and researching and being involved in an industry that's doing it as a volunteer or do a course.
True.
Or go and do it. Just hustle and fall over.
Go and do it. And the thing is, Pete, one of the things I found over a 21-year career is...
You're 21?
Yeah, just yesterday.
No.
still, yeah. You can't do it by yourself. You know, you need a team, whether they're dedicated or not, but everyone needs to play their role. You know, and but as long as you have that vision and that drive, you will strive, and others will see that and become more embracing of your vision and your drive. You know.
Yeah.
And if you have that business acumen, as I call it, then you go through the roof. I always say it's called the music business. And you have to split the two. You know, there was an incident in Adelaide, maybe about a year ago.
I know this incident.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Where a well-known rapper,
yes,
came to Adelaide and whatever else. And he asked the promoter, are you a promoter or are you an artist? To be honest, in answer to that, if someone had asked me that question, you can do both, but you can't do both very well.
Yeah, we've talked about that in the industry as it's a communicate.
Yeah.
You don't get to have it all. You have less of both.
That's right.
It's absolutely what you're saying. I just made it sound even more complex. But
you simplified it.
You can't do both.
No.
The more things you do, each of them are going to have less of an impact.
And that's where,
you just got to switch hats, though.
Yeah.
And if he wanted to be the promoter, he should have been the promoter that night.
And not the artist. And he can do the artist thing after the show or whatever, but everyone will know that he was the one that brought this particular rapper to Adelaide. You know, and that's where I think Soul Child and myself work very well. You know, when I'm weak, he's strong. When he's weak, I'm strong.
Yeah.
So
when he's weak, you're strong. And when you're strong, he's weak. Is that what you said?
Just vice versa.
Yeah.
So we work really well as a team, you know. And
he's in Sydney.
He's in Brisbane now. He's moved up there for the last 5 months.
Okay.
And
you work quite well across the border. It doesn't inhibit.
We speak every day.
Yeah.
It's a very tight relationship, and it has to be, for it to work. And the main thing is the business side of it. We're both very creative, but we both understand the business side of it.
Yeah. You can be creative in business, absolutely. And Richard Branson, very creative.
That's it.
He's more creative than business acumen. He pays other people to do what his ideas are full of, and you've got to have that. And musicians, I employ music educators, and just trying to simplify their process of how I can keep track of what lessons have happened, etc. 300 lessons a week. So hard because these guys aren't process-orientated people. No. They're creative and they're amazing musicians, which is why I employ them.
Yeah.
Not because they're really neat at handwriting and file their paperwork. It's like, you need to hand in your paperwork. It's like that I think it's Monsters Inc.
Yes.
You need to, but I've tried to take that concept from them. They don't have to do that, so I'm devising a plan, an app, to make that happen in a streamlined basis. So we can actually have music educators educating and not being worried about whether they're getting paid, how they're scheduling in. They might have 17 students in an evening and all of a sudden they can't teach them.
Because they've got paperwork to do. tax returns,
yes,
whatever else.
all that.
You know?
It's the business side, and if you're going to run a business, you're going to welcome to the world of ABN.
That's right.
Yep. So what's next for you, mate?
Well, hopefully we'll expand on these workshops. I've got some workshops with some schools coming up, with one particular school coming up, and hopefully to broaden that.
Okay, so you're doing workshops already though down south?
Yes.
Through a school, or is
yes.
that, okay.
And
it's not a private thing, you can't?
It's still got to be still got to dot the I's and cross the T's.
Yeah, dot the T's and cross the I's.
That too. You know, and with the gold pen.
Mm-hmm.
And that's next on the horizon. That should be starting in about 4 weeks.
Okay.
And then
so what will be in that? What kind of?
Basically, it's similar thing to what we did last Thursday.
Okay.
You know, teaching her about BPMs and mixing and getting that hands-on experience of mixing it behind a console.
Mm-hmm.
But I go heavily into, if you want to be a DJ and take this to the next level, these are the things that you need to be
own it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aware of and do. So it talks about your social media, talks about your marketing, talks about your business processes, as it were.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And hopefully that spark will ignite somewhere and take it to the next level.
So good. If you can encourage kids to be involved in music, you know, and know the business, that'd be great. A really good story. Do you know Novatech?
Yes.
Lako and Menk?
Yeah.
So Lako and Menk used to go to school down the road from where I lived, and they just bought a couple of speakers, and Menk was the DJ, and Lako booked the gigs.
Simple as.
Look at what they do.
Simple as. They've got at least half of the city in their pocket.
Yeah, and you know, they did it then because it was passion. They do it now because it was passion.
Definitely.
And the highest paid people in the world are sports people and musicians.
Yeah.
Because it happened before they make any money. They do it because they like it. You don't get out of bed one day and go, I'm going to be a drummer, and get a job as a drummer.
No.
You get out of bed one day and go, I'd like to be a lawyer, then go learn to be a lawyer. You know.
You have to pay your dues and walk those hard yards to get those gigs, and you know, and again it reverts back to what we've been discussing about.
Yeah.
You know, the business side of things. It's all great when you've got like 300, 400, 500 people in front of you, hands in the air, dancing to your music.
And at that point, if you're like me, you're not even thinking business. At that point,
No.
when that's the bit when I'm playing a drum kit and I'm in a gig or whatever. Even at home, no gigs, just my dog running around. Mm-hmm. At that point, when I'm playing, there's no business going through my head.
No,
it's like that's the switch. That's my off time. That's my when I'm not thinking.
You flick that switch.
Yeah.
And you see, sometimes, like as I was telling you earlier, business 5 o'clock this morning. I was sending emails, invoices.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Those are the things you have to do, because then in the day I can think creatively. So that when I have to do my business duties, as it were, I'm free to do them.
Nice.
And vice versa.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get a head start on life.
That's it.
Good,
Heights of great men, as they say.
Good. Well, thanks for coming out and chatting today, man. It's so good.
No worries, Pete, man. It's always a pleasure.
I love, we've only just met, and I can see that there's some things that are going to go forward for us.
Definitely.
Urban movement sounds great, and you've stepped it up. You're not just someone that DJs in pubs anymore.
That's it.
You're running a business, and you're going to support other DJs who need bookings. And
that's right.
You're going to represent a good crew of
dependable professional DJs here in Adelaide, and we're looking to expand that. So
very good, man.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
We're coming in.
Excellent. For more interviews, check out etimusic.com. What's your website?
urbanmovemententertainments.com.
Check it out. See you guys. Bye-bye. Easy, man.
Yeah, that should be cool.